All right, Lagos, it is 17 minutes going past five. You're tuned in to the marketplace on Smooth 98.1. And indeed, it is going to be an exciting conversation I'll be having this evening because we'll be talking about movies. Do we ever do people make money from these movies? Or is it just, all those numbers that we see out there, are they just made up? Well, joining me this evening in having this conversation is a film producer and director in the person of Emma Edosio Deelen. Good evening and welcome to Smooth 98.1 on the marketplace. Hi, Emma.
Hi, hi, hi. How are you?
I'm very well, thank you. All right, Lagos, as always, you know what to do. You want to share in, you want to join the conversation, as always. The number to call in, or rather, the number to send a WhatsApp message to or voice note is 0809 4440981, and I will take all your thoughts on that platform. Okay, you know what? Talking about movies, right? I see how movies are on different platforms, on streaming apps, and everything else in between. The Nollywood ones, the uh, exciting ones, the not so exciting ones, and it makes me wonder: is movie making in Nigeria a profitable venture, or is it just one born out of passion?
Hmm. Well, where do I start from?
Anyway.
So I think that it can go both ways, right?
Okay.
I think that there are filmmakers who take movie making as an art form, and it is in some ways a passion to them. And I
Mm-hmm.
think that there are filmmakers that are very commercial, and I think that there are filmmakers that are in between.
Okay.
Yes, movie making in Nigeria is and can be profitable because we have so many people in Nigeria, and imagine if how many millions or billions are we buy a ticket. There's massive potential there um within the sales of films and movie merchandises and all of that.
Mm.
I think yes, there's massive potential within the film industry, but we need to understand that there are different types of films, and some people will take films as an art form, and some people will take it as a commercial product.
Venture. I like that. But if you don't have the passion, it wouldn't drive you to even want to make a film in the first place, I trust.
My goodness, filmmaking is such a hard process.
Okay.
Like, it's the most expensive art form, I'll say this. Like, a painter will bring out a canvas, a brush. But
Hmm.
with filmmaking, you have so many moving parts. You have makeup, you have costume, you have wardrobe, you have locations, you have equipment. It's a massive, massive moving part. So you definitely have to have the passion because it's a lot of work. You have to love making films. You have to love people to be able to make films. Yeah.
Oh my goodness. Now that just makes it sounds scary because for someone who is aspiring, a filmmaker who's listening right now and is wondering, okay, but I thought they say just go to film school, learn all the ropes, and it'll be just hunky dory. What
Mm.
sort of mindset should that person be having right now if they actually want to make it in this industry?
Okay, so there are two ways. I always tell young and upcoming filmmakers, if your father is not Otedola and you don't have like $1 billion resting in
Right.
your account or trust fund,
Mm,
there is a way to break into the film industry.
okay.
I say this because films now are now global. And look, my competition is no longer you sitting, even you aspiring in Nigeria to be a filmmaker. My competition is a young boy in the slums in say Brazil or Sao Paulo who has brought out his iPhone and he's making a movie right now. So I
Right.
think that we are in the most exciting times as in the filmmaking world because there's nothing standing between you and your audience anymore, right? There's social media, there's all these tools to get your work out there to people. I think what I would tell this young person or this person who wants to break into this industry is that, look, content is king. If you make a great content, you build a
Mm,
fan. and you can't scale. So don't be intimidated by the fact that, oh, yes, you definitely need a lot of money to make films, but you can
Right.
start with what you have and make amazing films. And I always like to use myself as an example. When
Hmm.
I made my first film called Kasala with 4 million naira back then, and it traveled to 30 international film festivals, won 9 awards, and it got on Netflix with movies made with millions of dollars. And I shot the film with a 250,000 naira camera. So there's a way, and there's an audience hungry for fresh content. There's also an audience hungry for stars and famous faces. But
Right.
there's also an audience, a large audience looking for content, not just locally but globally that relates, that they can relate to and they can connect with. And there's nothing standing between you and that world anymore. So, in one word, to sum it all up, focus on the skills, be the best. You have everything you have in your disposal right now. YouTube videos, you can shoot with your phones, you can put work out there, you can build an audience, build a brand. Focus
Right.
on being so good that nobody can ignore you. And that has been my story and my journey.
I like the fact that you said focus on your dream and hey, no one will actually ignore what exactly that you put out as long as it's good work. I know it might not be the best in your own sphere,
Mm.
but hey, if you actually just keep pushing, you'll see that hey, there's someone out there who's looking at it. You might look at it that it's just me and my friends having fun.
Yeah.
Because sometimes I might not be right, but I've heard some filmmakers say, oh, sometimes it's just my family and friends that I just okay, I'm casting you as so and so before they think of actually looking for those actors,
Mm.
those big actors to shoot or to be in their movies. So they start off with people that they know or upcoming actors and actresses. So how has that actually been?
I think it's been amazing. I think that in Nigeria there are amazing talents. Oh, amazing young people that are hungry and they'll give you 100%,
Right.
101% of what you want. So, I mean, it's all well and good that if you can afford the famous actors, they bring in something dynamic and they bring in a massive fan base. But
Right.
there's also, like I keep saying, there are also young people that would, and look, at the beginning of most filmmakers' careers, and if you check even the great of the greats, if you check the Martin Scorsese's or the David Lynch or
Mm-hmm.
whoever, the Coen brothers, they started making small films with unknown faces and built a
True.
brand. And I think that there are amazing talents out there that will give you 101%. And I use myself as an example. And because I like to be practical to say, yes, it is possible. And I've sort of done it.
Okay.
With Kasala, my first film, the
Mm-hmm.
four lead actors were young, fresh faces. And right
Right.
now, they've gone out to do amazing things. Like
Awesome.
Michael Larry got his first lead role in my film, and right now he's done Far From Home. He's doing a lot of amazing things.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, and I'm forever grateful to the skills and the beauty they brought to my film. So it's a win-win both ways where most young people think that if I have to make a great film, I need to have certain faces, and you go and borrow money and go into debt. You know, you know, you can make great films with great actors who are unknown, and you still get returns for that on that film. Hello? Hello?
All right. Welcome back. I guess technology just misbehaving, but good to have you back.
Thank you
Can
for
you hear me
having
now?
me. Yes, I can hear you. Yes, I can
All
hear
right.
you.
Yes. So you were wrapping your thoughts. Sorry.
So yes, I like I said, I love to use myself as an example, and this films were was four unknown young talent, amazing, amazing talent starred in this film. And it
Mhm.
went on to do amazing things internationally and locally. So you don't need to break the bank. If you can't afford it, you
Right.
can work with great talent and still get the best movie that can travel and that can do very well, both locally and internationally.
I like that. And with that, it makes me wonder, right? Since you're saying we can break the mold, it's not just movies made for Nigerian audience, it's something that's supposed to be global, right? Is it best now to cast a wide net as a filmmaker and then create projects for streaming and theatrical audiences?
I think that I, I, I think that content is content, right? And I keep saying, if content is good, it
Mhm.
travels automatically. And I'll ask you a question. Why do you think that Korean movies has penetrated into Nigeria to the point where Nigerians are shooting
A
films?
Korean movie.
Yeah, you see why?
I've seen
Because
it. Well, not seen everything, but I've seen clips of it.
it's
I was
fascinating.
amazed.
Yeah. So it's just great content, right? And
Mm,
I wouldn't say cast your net far and wide. I would just say make a film that can travel. And when I say can travel, I mean, okay, I'll give you an instance. I have experienced love, and you have experienced love. We
yes.
both understand the substance of love. But
Mhm.
my experience of love is so unique to me. It's also very unique to you, but
True.
we both understand the substance. If we can interpret that substance in a way that a global audience can understand, then our films can travel and penetrate where people can understand it anywhere in the world, right? So I
Right.
think our films are so nuanced to us. They are beautiful, but they are so nuanced to us. I'll give you an instance. If I say, yay, you will know that when a Nigerian plane starts, you know that there's serious trouble somewhere. Just start
I
running.
know.
Do you understand? But when
Right.
an international audience hears that substance of fear, they're like, why is he
What?
shouting? I don't
Exactly.
understand. Do you understand what I'm saying? So how can we create work that is nuanced to us, but translate
Ah,
this substance in a way that a global audience can
can
understand?
relate.
And I
Hmm.
think that Afrobeat has cracked that code in the sense
Right.
where Burna Boy is in an O2 stadium, filled up auditorium, and he's singing I Need to Go and Shayo, and everybody's singing it. The white chick from London is singing it, and she has no clue of what she's saying, but she loves it.
She's just enjoying the vibe.
Yes,
And that's
because
that's
they
what
have taken the
mm,
rhythm from everywhere and fused it with Akbala, with Afrobeats, with everything to create a style and a that everybody can understand. If you take Akbala and you say, big, the Oyinbo, what is going on here? But they've been, and you see Terry Akbala, how he's fused it
oh
all
yes.
up, right? So I
So
think we need to find our sweet spot in Nollywood, and we're almost getting there. We're great with visuals, we're great with acting, but we need to do what the Korean have done and do what Afrobeat has done with music. Be able to translate that substance in a way that a global audience will
can
understand.
relate. Hmm.
Yes.
All right, Lagos, we have a quick breather to take, but once we come back from the breather, we'll definitely be talking about Ryan Coogler's movie. I don't know how Sinners has made so much money, but you're a film director. You know everything that comes in with all this. So you'll be telling us more on the other side. Lagos, don't go nowhere. Stay tuned to Smooth 98.1. Style on Lagos Radio. It's just a minute and we'll be back.
No problem.
We know it is please legacy. You are the best. No story, no star. Everything there.
Tiệm Tirana, tức là hắn là tạm quên để chỉ hãy tụ lệ là tiệm Tirana. Trong phiên linh trên thức cổ sập chấp và ta cổ chấp trả và ghét xả, ép phí lệ, này chấp. Là tiệm Tirana. Legacy, you will know. Legislatura, you are the best. Locate us today at 54B Adeniyi Zone, Ikeja, or log F1 402-425 HFP East Nine Shopping Complex, 8 Mama Desoya, Aja, Lagos. Call us on 091-683-34268 or 091-683-34257. Please let us limited, changing lives. Accessible, informed. Market costume.
All right, Lagos, welcome back to the second half of Marketplace here on Smooth 98.1. My guest is Emma Edosio Deelen, and she is a film producer and director. Today, we're just asking, really, making movies, is there any money in it? Well, she's been able to address some of those questions that's been in the back of my head. But yes, we've spoken a bit about Nigerian movies. Now, let's even get into the one that's making the waves right now, and that is Sinners. Everyone's talking about it. More so, they're talking about the deal that Ryan Coogler struck with Warner Brothers Studio. Can you tell us? He seems to get most of his film right, and I don't know. There's something about him that just that just speaks magic. Is this the magic you've been talking about that we need to also bring to light?
I mean, yeah, I think that I like I've been saying it's all about the content. Content is king. If you have great work, people will want to watch. And I think that right now we're in times where the industry is very saturated. And the film industry has was affected by COVID because people did not go to the cinemas, right?
Ah,
And
yeah.
for I remember I heard someone say that it takes 21 days to form a habit, and we formed a COVID cost a lot of audiences to form the habit of not going to the cinemas, right? And it's not
True.
as it used to be before. And right now, you have young people who pick up their phones and their tablets and they're watching
And they're
films and
streaming,
watching
and
them.
yeah.
Yeah. So the industry, I think that post-COVID, the industry is trying to find its foot back, and you know, what Ryan Coogler has done is that he has been able to separate himself and build his voice and present work and find his audience. You understand what I mean?
Right.
I always say this that I think a lot of the times it's business, running a business can be cutthroat, right? Where,
True.
uh, yeah, where, there's fierce competitions. But the beautiful thing about filmmaking is that, look, there's an audience for everything, right? I'll give you
Mm.
an instance. An Asha's audience is an Asha's audience, an Ashake's audience
Yes.
is an Ashake. A portable
True.
audience, portable audience. You understand? And
Everybody has their niche and
yes,
their
and
fans.
yes, the truth is that maybe sometimes the Ashaka audience will go and listen to Portable or will sometimes listen to Asha at certain points in their lives. And that's the
Right.
way for film. And I think that Ryan Coogler has been able to find his audience and find his voice, right?
Mm.
And put work that is so strong that people love, right? And I think that, like I said, I think that it's all about the content at the end of the day and finding the audience that fits that content. Yeah.
Mm. Okay, seems something is just happening to network, but Emma, are you there?
Yes, I'm here.
Okay, thank goodness that you're back.
Mhm.
I don't know why the networks and the gremlins are just trying to get better of our conversation this evening, but hey, it could just be the spirits behind sinners. That is, you've seen it, you would understand what I'm talking
Yeah.
about.
Mm.
And not you, I mean Lagos. For this who have not gotten to watch Sinners, hopefully they will get to go see it. But if you haven't, please find time to go to the cinemas and watch movies. Don't just sit down at home and just be watching on your phone. Sometimes go out. Okay, so I know that he gets the rights to the film for 25 years, and he also gets a percentage of ticket sales before the studio now decides to deduct anything for the expenses. What do you make of the deal? Is it a sensible one? Is it a cutthroat one? What exactly?
I think that like I said, we're in exciting times as film producers and film directors here, right? And I think that, okay, I'll give you an instance. We're in something called the creators economy, right? And
Right.
in this creators economy, there's nothing standing, between me and you anymore. There's literally almost no gatekeepers, right? And I'll give you an instance. If you want to start your own radio station at this
Mhm,
point, you have the tools available, you have
mhm,
access to the audience, and you can
mhm,
start up something online. And I think that Ryan Coogler has done a great job of building an audience and building a great brand, that everybody wants to buy into it. And I think that's a future of the film industry right now. I
mhm,
think it's gradually going to shift away from big studios in per se,
mhm,
and
mhm,
we start seeing individuals building audience and getting audience directly to the viewers, and big brands wanting to partner with these individuals. I think that's a prime example. And if you look at it, I think that Tyler Perry was very visionary, and he did that with
when he
Medea.
did.
Yes. So
Mm,
he built a mailing list of I think 800,000 people to 1 million people that were
all right.
ready to buy his product. And look at him right now. He's building
Oh,
his own studio. He's doing amazing. And
he's
I think
cashing out.
yes, I think that's a future for the filmmaking. I think that if you want to take yourself seriously in this industry, you have to build a brand, and you have to
Mm.
have an audience, and you have
Oh.
to create great content and keep your audience, engaged. And that's sort of what I think about it. It's just a sign of the future where you start seeing I mean, look, filmmaking it takes a lot of
It's a
risk.
whole lot.
It's like what's his guy where King Nebuchadnezzar dreamt and says, "Oh, who is going to interpret this dream?"
Daniel.
Right? And Daniel did that, right? It's like
Mhm.
what film is going to blow? Everybody has the commercial ideas in the
Everybody
world,
has that film
right?
that could blow.
I can
Potential.
Yes, I can ask you. I know you have one amazing story that you think is the next best thing to sliced bread, and it might be, but it takes a whole lot of money to invest in films, right? And
Right.
now people are just going for methods that they know, or people that they know that can recoup their funds. And you see that with Funke Akindele, you see that with
Mhm.
Moabudu, you see that with amazing people doing great things in the industry. And I think that's the future. And Ryan Coogler's deal is just proving so much. And it's exciting times, right?
I
It's
know. I
yeah,
know.
it's
So
amazing times, right? I feel like if the past, the legends, Herbert Ogunde, Ade Love had this opportunity, you know, they would have done great stuff.
Hi, Emma.
Hey,
Okay, sorry, I don't know what's been going on with the network, but yes, hopefully it stays the same and then we're able to wrap up our thoughts. Gremlins just getting the better of us. Okay, yes, let's quickly wrap this up. I was asking, right, now that we have these platforms, you see how movies are progressing. It just makes me wonder, has streaming actually dented the film going experience, or is it something that, hey, we should be expecting to, as I say, you want to Netflix and chill? That's a thing. You want to stay at home. You don't want to be in traffic. You don't want to be around people. So it makes me wonder, is this affecting movies in any sense or in any way?
I don't think so. I think that every have you heard the word adapt or die, right?
See, we Nigerians, we adapt. We don't go
Like
anywhere. We're here.
I know, right? But it's just life, right? I mean,
Right.
it's a service that has come to help people who are very busy, right? It's just one of those services. And I think that the theater houses and everybody has to adapt to find a way to combine the two of them, right? Or create like an experience where people just want to go to the films, right? To the cinemas. And I mean, it's happening everywhere. It's happening in the radio world. It's happening in technology where AI is coming to take over. And I'm sure like there's AI now, AI presenters, right? So it's progress. It's it's how do I put it? Yeah. Hello.
Okay, I think it's about time we've tried to wrap up our thoughts before the network kicks us out again.
No, right? Okay, so I'll go straight to it. Like I think it's like adapt, right?
Okay.
You know, right now there are AI presenters now.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, like
Fascinating stuff.
I know. It's just like when calculators came out back then, and
Oh,
people are like,
yes.
"Oh no, this is
Oh,
not
you'd
going
be
to work."
lazy. You wouldn't think with your head any longer. But it's
Exactly.
meant to make life easier.
Yes, it is. So I think what should happen now is like how can film theater houses create like an experience where people, the fear of missing out of it's like adapt,
Right.
Yeah.
Are you there, Emma?
Yes, I'm here. Yes, I'm here.
Oh,
Oh,
okay. So,
mm.
okay. And hey, your final take on this, because I want to know what's your outlook really for film production in Nigeria.
Oh, I think that we're in exciting times. There's a focus on
Okay.
Africa right now. There's a focus
Mm.
on Afrobeats. And gone are the days where you walk into a room and they'll tag you as a Nigerian 419. Everybody wants to be with you because
Ouch.
you're a cool gang. Like
Mm.
everybody assumes that you know Burner Boy and there's a sense of pride when I walk into a supermarket and in say Amsterdam and I'm hearing a Whiskey or Ashake or
It
I'm
counts.
a Nigerian guy.
Mm.
That sense of pride. And I think that it's such a great time for Nigerian films to break into this space. What I would just say is that I think that we've done a great job building locally, but I think that we have to start building, well, we have to start creating works that can translate out of Nigeria, out of Africa, and resonate with a global audience. And the sky's just our limit. And for film producers, like, look, I say this because I love to use myself as an example, right?
Right.
I literally decided that I wanted to make movies and I just started using what I had, and my film has traveled around the world. I'm just about to release my third film called When Nigeria Happened, and it's going to premiere in one of the biggest film festivals in Switzerland, right? And you
Awesome.
know, it's amazing things are happening, and the film doesn't even have the usual faces, even though I don't have anything against the usual
Against them, yeah. But you just
but
wanted it to have a
yes,
fresh look.
I wanted to
Mhm.
have it fresh. And obviously, I honestly, at this point in my career, cannot afford to hire them. But does that mean that I cannot make a great film? No, of course not. Does that mean that they're not that they're amazing talent everywhere? And this movie is the first contemporary dance film from Nigeria. And it's
Oh,
amazing, it's beautiful. I'm absolutely proud of it. And I'm excited about what to happen. But what I will say to everyone out there that it's exciting times, but we have to be very strategic. Our work has to translate globally. It's a lot better when you walk into a room full of investors to say, "Oh, I can give you 1 billion naira, but also I can give you 100
one.
million dollars," right? You
Ah,
check the exchange rate, you know. It's
mm.
it's great when you have that market, right? And I think that the future now for the Nigerian film industries to be able to make our works translate globally. And if we do not, there's a danger of other people coming into the continent to tell our stories. And you start seeing
There's a
people,
likely possibility that that's
yes,
going to happen if we
yes,
do not put our foot first.
yes. And Afrobeat is doing something amazing that it's just a matter of time that I really hope that the film industry will tap into this global where you're filling up stages. And the truth about it is that somebody said this to me one time. He says, yes, we only think about who are the people filling up the Burner Boy state concerts. They're young Nigerians who are looking for a sense of hope home. There's a massive diasporan audience who probably do not understand their mother's Aki and Popo, which I think is great. They want a sense of home, something they can relate to, and something that that speaks the language for now. And we
Right.
have to scratch the surface for films. And there's a massive potential there. And it's all about the content, all about the content, all about building a brand. So if you're that young filmmaker that has dreams of making great work,
Something right.
there's nothing standing between you and that audience. Just focus on creating quality work and put yourself out there, build an audience. That's what I will say finally. Yeah.
All right. And Nareem just sent in a message and well, just letting us know that Nollywood finally makes it to Cannes. Well, even though it's taking about 80 years, but at least it's a Nigerian movie that will be screened at Cannes Festival. So that's great news to hear. Thank you so much for sharing that as well, Nareem. And thank you so much to my guest. Well, I had Emma Edosio Deelen. She is a film producer and director, and I'm so honored to have had you with me sharing all this insights. And I wish you all the best in your, well, at the film festival that you'll be attending soon enough. I'm
And
sure that you come back to give us updates on how everything went, all the excitement.
sure, and people can also follow me to find out updates on
Oh yeah, so your social media handles, please, so we can,
it's
keep tabs. We always
yeah.
want to keep tabs.
Emma, EMA, it's EMA, Edosio, Edosio, Deelen, Deelen. You can find me on all social media platforms with at Emma Edosio. It's EMA, Edosio, Deelen. And you can find out more about my films, more about my works, when my film is going to be released, and just sharing updates. If you want to be a filmmaker, I give
And
tips
everything else in
and
between.
everything else. Yes, I'm selling my
Thank you
market.
so much. All right, thank you so much, Lagos. There's so much more lined up. So, as always, don't go nowhere. Stay tuned to Smooth 98.1. That that was definitely a very interesting conversation. I really enjoyed every bit of it.